This is the 11th video in a series on the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, a book which offers insightful lessons and historical examples of obtaining and wielding power. The book takes an amoral position on the potential uses of this power. And while it is true these laws can be used for selfish and malicious benefit, they can also be used in the inverse to guard against power players in the pursuit of your own benevolent goals. Throughout this series, I will describe each law of power while providing examples from popular film and television shows. These depictions may have historical relevance, although fictionalized, but they are not to be taken 100% factually accurate, merely as examples to learn the laws of power. Law 11. Keep people dependent on you. Judgment. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you will have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Robert Greene. Part 1. Observation of the law. In the hit television series Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston plays Walter White, a cancer-ridden former high school chemistry teacher that is reduced to cooking illegal narcotics to afford his medical care and potentially leave money for his family after his demise. In the third season, Walter is now renowned in the drug community for his ability to cook a potent variety of methamphetamine. He is hired by cartel leader Gus Fring, played by Giancarlo Esposito, to supply his drug empire. After suffering a setback between Walter's partner Jesse Pinkman and the other cartel members, Gus brings in Gail, a fellow chemist, to serve as Walter's new cooking partner, but the two have ulterior motives.
If push came to shove, I was wondering how soon you might be able to take over the lab yourself. You and an assistant.
Why would push come to shove?
Has Walter ever talked to you about his health problems?
What exactly are his health problems?
He's dying of cancer. It is why he does this, to provide for his family, which he's accomplished. Not to sound cold-blooded, but I am running a business here.
No, I understand.
I have a very large investment in this. There's so much overhead that I can't afford to shut down, not even for a week.
Gus secretly informs Gail that he will need to learn Walter's recipe in the event that Walter succumbs to his cancer. But in reality, Gus wants Walter out of the picture sooner.
I suppose if we had at least a few more cooks together. One more. I guess we'll do it, I suppose.
I believe in you, Gail.
I don't know if it's a barrel leak or what, but you got something mighty stinky down there. After you. Walter, the sooner you figure out what this is, the sooner we all go home.
Gus has his henchmen lead Walter into a trap.
Please don't do this. Mike, you don't have to do this. Please.
If I can talk to Gus,
Walter.
I can convince him, okay? Just let me, please let me talk to him.
Shut up! Shut up. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'll give you Jesse Pinkman. Okay? Like you said, he's the problem. He's always been the problem. And with him.
As Walter pleads for his life, he offers to set Jesse up as well. The henchmen allow Walter to call Jesse.
Let's do it. I can't now. It's gonna have to be you.
What? No way, man.
You're closer than we are. You'll have about a 20-minute lead. They've got me at the laundry and they're going to kill me.
Jesse, do it now!
Do it, bitch!
Do it fast!
Do it, Jesse! Do it!
Using the opportunity, Walter gives him a secret message. That is, to find and kill Gail, knowing that if Gail is dead, the cartel would have to keep Walter alive.
I want to hold off.
Yeah? Why?
Because your boss is gonna need me. 6353 Juan Tabo, apartment 6.
Although Jesse is ultimately successful, and the cartel is forced to spare Walter's life, Walter now knows his life is directly tied to his ability to keep the cartel happy. In the 2015 film, Trumbo, also starring Bryan Cranston in the lead role as the legendary screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, also demonstrates how one can maintain power in a relationship through honing talent and ability. Trumbo is an active member and supporter of labor unions, particularly the Writers Guild.
Were in fact the work of dangerous radical. And this is writer Dalton Trumbo, who is, like many of those strikers and their supporters, a registered communist. And why?
Reap all the profits now, is that fair?
This leads to a contentious relationship with studio management.
Now, you make all the money you possibly can, so do I. Why shouldn't they? And why can't we help them?
Listen to you, the swimming pool Soviet.
Oh, for God's sakes, you won, Sam. The strike is over, and you just might try being a gracious winner. No, you know, it's never over with you people.
Strike after strike.
And also runs him afoul of the anti-communist movement of the 1950s. Trumbo is subpoenaed by the House Representatives Un-American Activities Committee and forced to defend against accusations that his screenplays are actually communist propaganda.
Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Am I accused of a crime?
You're not asking the question.
May I introduce to evidence?
No, you are out of order.
My work.
Your screenplays are too long.
I've heard that before.
Failing to win them over, he is sentenced to serve an 11-month term in prison. Once released, he and his fellow co-workers are blacklisted, forbidden from working for major movie studios. Trumbo, with little finances left, continues to work in secret, having fellow writers not blacklisted take credit for his work.
It's breezy and romantic. Who wrote it?
You did, old boy. You stick your name on my labor, hand it into your studio, and we're in business.
Hate the title.
Me too.
Really? You think this title's better? Roman Holiday.
This is the case for the hit film Roman Holiday, that ends up winning his ghostwriter an Academy Award.
Roman Holiday by Ian McClellan Hunter.
Yes! Yes!
Trumbo also continues to write under pseudonyms for smaller production companies.
All right. I'll write you a movie for $1,200 then.
And you don't want your name on it.
No, you don't want my name on it.
You got that right. Especially if you're still, up to stuff. Are you?
Perpetually.
Another one of those films, The Brave One, wins another Academy Award that Trumbo cannot claim.
The brave one, Robert Greene. Who's that guy? Mr. Jesse Lasky Jr., as Vice President of the Screenwriters Branch of the Writers Guild, will accept the award for Mr. Rich.
On behalf of Robert Rich and his beautiful story, thank you very much.
In fact, this time nobody can claim it, as the fictional name Trumbo used was not a real person. Over time, rumors circulate that Trumbo is the secret writer of these films.
Can help sell tickets, well then good. And if the strange circumstances of its authorship raised a few questions, well, even better.
Trumbo is careful never to confirm it out of fear of further retribution to his livelihood. However, the rumors also have the effect of showing that Trumbo still has the talent of a good writer.
I'm doing a new picture, and I just got the script.
Sure, must be 7 hours of entertainment there.
Not a single page is entertaining, but there's a good story in there, somewhere, about one man who tried to take on the whole world.
When famed Hollywood actor Kirk Douglas is unhappy with the script for his next film, Spartacus, he turns to Trumbo for a rewrite.
The press release will say, the screenplay for Spartacus was written by Dalton Trumbo. Thank you.
Kirk, if you don't get rid of Trumbo, I will.
And right after I quit, you can reshoot all my scenes. You see, Ed, for better or worse, I am Spartacus.
And is so pleased with it that he uses his star power to demand that the true name of the writer appears in the credits. Thanks to the aid of Trumbo, the film is a massive success.
President Kennedy enjoyed a rare evening off attending the new Kirk Douglas film Spartacus.
Mr. Fred, it's a very controversial film. What did you think?
Oh, I think it's a fine picture, and I think it's going to be a big hit.
The implication of Kennedy's approval
And leads to the end of the blacklist era in Hollywood. The studio managers were pushed to punish Trumbo by conservative politicians, but they also knew that Trumbo still had what they desperately needed, talent. And in the end, they came back for his ability to craft a script that would please audience and lead to their business's success. Part 2. Transgression of the Law. In the 2018 film, The Favourite, Sarah Churchill, the Duchess of Marlborough, played by Rachel Weisz, is the right-hand servant to the English Queen Anne, who is in poor mental and physical health.
Cousin, the beef.
Tell me a story.
I can't. Ow!
Jen.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Sarah effectively rules the country for the Queen, who is more interested in her leisurely activities.
It's the Queen. We've been waiting an hour.
I'm here.
Might I remind you, you're not the Queen?
No, she has sent me to speak for her. She is unwell.
What says she?
That Harley is a fop and a prat and smells like a 96-year-old French horse for juju.
I really doubt you're quoting.
She has decided to continue with the war. She feels another victory and will put us in a stronger position for a treaty. Her letters.
Until Abigail Hill, Sarah's younger and impoverished cousin, arrives at the estate in search of employment.
Dear cousin, I have a letter from our aunt. I fell out of a carriage.
Friends of yours?
I'm sorry.
And do you want?
I hoped I might be employed here.
Sarah kindly employs her in the house, but Abigail has ambition to grow the position and take Sarah's place. To win favor with the Queen, she secretly concocts an herbal relief for the Queen's gout.
This is Pilates, the herb. I cut some this morning. It reduces swelling and inflammation. I thought it may help the Queen.
Well, you cannot just walk in here. Why did the footman let you through?
It's not his fault. I lied to him.
Prime Minister and Mr.
I just wanted to help her. She seemed to suffer so much.
Footman?
For which Sarah has her punished for entering the Queen's bedchamber without permission. But the Queen has Abigail appointed to the Lady of the Bedchamber, and slowly, while Sarah is preoccupied with an ongoing war, Abigail slowly starts to replace Sarah in Queen Anne's life.
You're so beautiful. Stop it. You mock me. I do not. If I were a man, I would ravish you. Enough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sarah desperately appeals to the Queen that Abigail is only flattering her.
Tongue seems uncharacteristically still.
I heard you. She's my servant. She's not dismissed. I've made her my maid of the bedchamber.
Did you not hear what I said?
Yes, you regard her as a liar and a thief.
Yes.
I do not, obviously.
And that she is the only one willing to be truthful with the Queen.
I handed over my key. I am sorry. I went quite mad. Just open the door.
I wish you could love me as she does.
She does not love you. You wish me to lie to you. Oh, you look like an angel fell from heaven, Your Majesty. No, sometimes you look like a badger, and you can rely on me to tell you. Why? Because I will not lie. That is love.
But the Queen does not want for the truth. She would rather be fulfilled by fantasy, and eventually banishes Sarah from the court.
He's stealing from me.
What? Your Majesty, that is preposterous.
Lady Abigail, Privy Purse, is it not true they have stolen from me, damaged us?
Yes.
It is all there in black and white. She must be ruined. Banished from their beloved England, they are not loyal. They would hurt us, our country, the Queen.
While Sarah's intentions were noble, she failed to keep her employer satisfied and happy with her. And when someone came that fulfilled that role, she was no longer needed and lost the power that she once wielded nobly.
I suddenly feel so tired of England, my darling. Perhaps we should go somewhere else.
In the 2007 film There Will Be Blood, a loose adaptation of Upton Sinclair's novel Oil, Daniel Day-Lewis plays Daniel Plainview, an oil baron.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I say I'm an oil man, you will agree. Now, you have a great chance here. But bear in mind, you can lose it all if you're not careful. Out of all men that beg for a chance to drill your lots, maybe 1 in 20 will be oil men. The rest will be speculators. That's men trying to get between you and the oil men to get some of the money that ought by rights come to you. Even if you find one that has money and means to drill, he'll maybe know nothing about drilling.
Who investigates a tip that a town has oil underneath it. After confirming that it's true, he attempts to negotiate the purchase of the land from a local farmer.
Improvements to the ranch over the years at $500. I'd like to offer you $3,700 for this ranch. That's $3,700.
No.
The Lord has sent this man here, Eli. Yes, I believe he has. My offer to you is $3,700.
What is it that brought you here, sir?
The good Lord's guidance. Now, of course, within that, we're going to develop a lease. What's that?
But his son, a preacher who has a church on the land, played by Paul Dano, wants to hold out in order to get the best deal possible for their profitable land.
If we decide to drill for oil, and if the well begins to produce, I'll give your church a $5,000 signing.
$10,000.
Do you want to find someone else that's going to come up here and drill, Eli? Make the investment and do all the hard work that goes into it?
The preacher and his father agree to let Mr. Plainview drill for oil, but refuses to outright sell the land, knowing that Mr. Plainview would profit considerably from the purchase if they were to discover oil. Eli and Mr. Plainview have a contentious relationship, both knowing the potential worth of the land they are arguing over.
Do we get our money, Daniel?
The Church of the Third Revelation! $5,000! One of the arrangements that we made!
Eventually, they agree on an easement that will allow continued drilling and the building of a pipeline. Later in the film, when Eli is destitute, having squandered all the money from the original deal, he returns to Mr. Plainview, who has now amassed a sizable fortune. Eli offers to finally sell him the land.
Young Bandy's 1,000-acre tract. I'm offering you to drill on one of the great undeveloped fields of Little Boston.
Those areas have been drilled.
Mr. Plainview, however, has no intentions of purchasing the land.
Yes, it's called drainage, Eli. See, I own everything around it, so of course I get what's underneath it.
And he explains to the preacher who once tormented him that he had already drained the property of any oil it once possessed.
Yeah, and this... I must have this. I must have this. My investments have...
If you have a milkshake, and I have a milkshake, and I have a straw, there it is. That's a straw. See? Watching. My straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake.
Know that when making power moves, other power players will recognize it and adjust their strategy. Eli wanted to have one more card to play, but the ruthless oil baron was not one to allow any leverage against him to go unchecked.
That's here. That's the Bandy tract. He has over 600 acres.
And in the end, outdrew him.
What about this?
AC mode, Lodgett, Redlick, car.
What's it held at?
$6 an acre.
What about this?
That's the Belvins, and that could be got, I'm sure.
Can everything around here be got?
Sure.
Reversal, the final part. It's lonely at the top.
Oh, buddy. Well,
how are you?
I got nothing to say to you.
Those who need you for your own livelihood, happiness, or comfort will eventually become ungrateful. In your conquest to be needed, wanted, you will end up either living surrounded by enemies who despise you and secretly wish for and plot for your downfall at every turn. Or you'll perhaps wind up living in complete isolation, like Walter White or Daniel Plainview in their final days. Separated from his family and friends, clinging to a life without reason or purpose to live. Pursue power at your own caution. This has been a production of Minimum Effort Media. There are new video essays here on the first Friday of every month. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you care to. For each one of these videos, I like to give away a copy of the 48 Laws of Power. If you would like to enter this giveaway, please subscribe to the channel, like, and comment down below. I will pick the comments at random and post them on my next Law of Power video. The winner from the last video is on screen right now. Please contact me at The Lazy Stoic across all social media so I can get your contact information. Thank you for watching.